Good morning, dear students. Today we will start Standard 10th, Chapter 2, Science, Chemistry portion. Chapter is Acids, Bases and Salts. So, let us first start with the introduction portion. Till date, nearly 3 million chemical compounds are known. And on the basis of their properties such as color, taste, solubility, chemical behavior and many more properties, they are in need to classified as acids, bases and salts. Now when we have there to classify as acid, bases and salts, then the compounds have some similarities as well as some dissimilarities in their properties. And so, in order to know that substance, whether it is acid or base, we need to taste them. And for tasting, we need some methods to follow it. So, to follow the testing method, we need some substance which are termed in chemistry as reagents. And these reagents will help us, will guide us whether the substance is acids or bases. That means we can say that they indicates. And so, such reagents which indicates the classification of substance are termed as indicator, and here we will term them as acid-base indicators. So, let us first understand about indicators. Those substances which help us to indicate about acid or base by changing their color or smell are called indicators. And what are the types of indicators? Natural indicators, syndicate indicators and olfactory. So what is natural indicators? The word itself gives us the idea that they are obtained from the nature. Lichens, flowers as hydrangea, petunia, geranium. These are all the natural flowers and natural plant products. From their extracts, the natural indicators are made. The first is litmus paper. Actually, the word is litmus. Liti, that means to dye, a Latin word. And moss, that means the lichen. Right? A type of green plants which appears like algae, that is moss, which is termed as lichens. So litmus paper is prepared from cellulose of trees which is treated with filter paper and on which extracts of lichens or hydrangea flowers, petunia, gerania flowers extracts are adsorbed. Adsorbed, that means they are made the coating, a layer on the filter paper, and that paper is termed as litmus paper. Second type of natural indicator is turmeric paper. Turmeric we know haldi, right? So the paper which is prepared from the turmeric plant's extract is called turmeric paper. So the extract taken from the turmeric plant is treated with the filter paper, which in turn becomes turmeric paper, which is also used for the test of acid and base solution. One more is purple cabbage. We do see in our vegetable market most of the time green cabbage, but the purple cabbage, which we say lettuce, right? So purple color cabbage, extracts of purple cabbage plant is also treated with the filter paper, and that paper is also used as the natural indicator, which indicates certain change of color and gives us the idea about the solution, whether it is acid or base. So here is a glance. Litmus paper indicator, when used, if the solution is neutral, the color of that litmus paper will be little purplish blue. If it is acid, it is turning blue color to red, and if it is base, then red color will turn to blue. Later on we will see the experiment, practicals also. So you will come to know the change of the color taking place on the litmus paper. So it is used as acid base indicator. Turmeric paper, in neutral it shows yellow color, acid also it shows yellow color. When it is dipped in base it shows red color. The nature of the turmeric paper is used for the base, and that is why it is said it is a base indicator, indicates about the base solution. Purple cabbage paper, it is showing purple color in neutral solution, red color in acid solution, and green color in base solution. So when we dip this paper, these are the respective change in the color they show to us. If litmus paper is dipped in acid, then it will, blue color litmus paper will turn red. When purple cabbage is dipped in acid solution, then its purple color converts to red, and then we will identify that that particular substance is acid, the solution is acid. So this is the function of the indicators, that indicates that what are the respective nature of the given solution to us. The next type of indicator is synthetic indicators. Synthetic, it means it is not natural. The use of chemical substances is taken and it is prepared in the laboratory, and that is why it is synthetic indicators. You have seen in natural, they were all prepared from the natural plants, flowers, right? The extracts of the plants and extracts from the flowers. Here, prepared in laboratory. Synthetic indicators are made in a laboratory, so they are artificial indicators. Methyl orange and phenolphthalein are the two basic or the worst used synthetic indicators are there. Apart from it, safranin is there, methylene blue is also there, but white in a most indicator as a synthetic, methyl orange and phenolphthalein are used. What is the nature of this methyl orange? It is also acid indicator, and phenolphthalein is the base indicator. When methyl orange, so yellow color, when 2-3 drops of methyl orange is added into solution and solution converts yellow color, then it is understood that the solution is neither acid nor base, but it is neutral. If it converts to red, then the solution is acid. If it converts to yellow, then the solution is base. In the same way, if phenolphthalein 2-3 drop is added to any solution and we don't know what the solution's nature is, if it remains pink, phenolphthalein pink color, if it remains pink, then it is understood that the solution is base. It is pink in color, it remains pink, so base indicator. And here methyl orange is a little reddish orange, so in acid it remains reddish orange only, red color. That is why it is showing acid indicator. Phenolphthalein added to solution, solution becomes colorless. Then the solution is acidic. Right? Little faint color can be seen. That is acidic. And completely colorless, it shows us the neutralization of the solution. So this is how acid and base is indicated by the use of methyl orange and phenolphthalein in the laboratory. Third type of indicators, that is olfactory indicators. Olfactory indicators are giving idea to our olfactory nerves. That means the nervous system which consists of olfactory nerves, which identifies the smell of the respective substance. So by the smell we can understand about that particular substance. It indicates us, right? Garlic, onion, these are the typical vegetable which gives a peculiar specific smell, and we easily say that it is garlic smell, it is onion smell, right? Spices also, clove. We can easily make out pepper smell, clove smell, loving. Clove matlab loving, pepper matlab mari. So these smell are easily identified. Vanilla essence. So they are called olfactory indicators because they give the indication by the smell. They are present in our nose, which has specific smelling capacity. Olfactory indicators are nothing but they are our olfactory nerves, and they are present in our nose because they have that respective smelling capacity that changes in acidic or basic medium. For example, substances as indicators are used. Onion extract. It has a characteristic smell. Order in acids and order in base. Onion extracts gives very strong smell in acidic solution, but it will not give any smell in basic solution. That means the smell will remain very, very mild, but if acid is there, then it will have a very strong smell. Vanilla essence, that is giving very pleasant smell, right? When we eat vanilla ice cream, we do have experienced this smell. So it gives a pleasant smell. Order in acid is pleasant, and in base it will not give any special smell. Clove oil. Clove, loving ka tel, long ka tel. Clove oil is also having a special characteristic smell. It also smells very strong when acid solution is there, but it will also not give a respective change in the smell when it is bases. So thus, these are the three types of indicators: natural, synthetic and olfactory. But the most commonly used acid-base indicator in school laboratories are litmus paper and in volumetric titration phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Volumetric titration you will do in 11th standard. There you will use phenolphthalein and methyl orange, and in our 10th standard you are not have a syllabus of doing the practicals, a demonstration of the experiments. So in the next video I'll show you the animated video where you will see the action of the litmus paper. Even I'll show you the litmus paper also. Now let us come to the main topic of the chapter, and that is the one of the topic, that is acids. The word acid is derived from the Latin word acidus. Acidus, which means sour in taste, sour in taste, it means खट्टा. खट्टा जिसका स्वाद होता है वो सभी एसिड माना जाता है. It is said as per the Latin. So Latin language gives that acidus, that means the sour, and from that word acidus, acids is the English word. Acids are mainly classified into two categories. One is naturally occurring and another is mineral acids. Naturally occurring acids, which is present in the nature or nature has given us, and mineral acids, that means minerals are also available from the earth crust, but those minerals which are available from the earth crust are then synthesized in the laboratory and acids are prepared. So it is said that next category is mineral acids. Naturally occurring acids are found in many food items or are also present in human body and in plants. You might be knowing, as per your biology, digestive system, in our stomach hydrochloric acid is present, which is working as biological or biocatalyst enzyme, helping in killing the bacteria and digestion of the food. So acids is present in our body also. They are present in the plants also. These acids are also called organic acids and are weak in nature. They are considered as organic acids. Organic acids are not very strong in nature, and so only we are able to eat organic acids and we are not able to eat minerals or synthesized acid. Organic acids, some of the organic acids, not all. Some of the organic acids are edible. Edible, that means which we are able to eat, but not all are edible. Some acids in our food items that we eat are. Now see, we do eat different types of food, and in that food which we eat, it do contains different types of acids which we are going to see over here. But the acids in our food items which we eat are called edible acids. The things which is eatable, that is called edible, and non-eatable, that is non-edible. So here is the list. We eat lemon and oranges. They are sour in taste, खट्टे होते हैं, because it consists of citric acids. All these acids which we are eating, they are weak acid, and so only we are able to eat. But those acids which are industrially used, they are not edible, we are not able to eat them. And so here we are learning about the acids, bases and salts, that this many different substances are there, more than 3 millions, more and more. Then out of that, which are useful as edible as our eating, and which other are there which are used as a economical commercial purpose. Potatoes, green leafy vegetables, they contain acid, that is ascorbic acids. Apple, cherries, the fruits like apple, like cherries, apple and cherry itself also, they consist malic acids. Curd, buttermilk, because they are the conversion from the milk because of the presence of lactobacillus bacteria, and that is why the acid present in curd and buttermilk are lactic acid, because of the lactobacillus bacteria. Then we do eat tamarind. Tamarind matlab imli. Tamarind, grapes, avocados, right? They are the tartaric acids. Avocados are the foreign guava, and they consist edible acid, that is tartaric acids. Tomatoes we eat, that is having oxalic acid. Broccoli is like our cauliflower. We do have a cauliflower, right, in India. Broccoli is the cauliflower, type of cauliflower of the foreign countries. Then sugar beets, that is beetroots, and various cheese which we eat, they consist of succinic acid. Garlic and onion, because they are rich in sulfur, because they have sulfonic acid in them. So these are the certain food items which we eat. Either we are practicing to eat them often or once in a while, but we do eat this all, and these are all acids which are eatable, that is edible, but they are very very weak in nature, and that is why only we are able to eat. If they are very strong, we are not able to eat. In this chapter we will learn about strong and weak acids also, right? So let us continue further about the acids. The next is mineral acids. As I told, they are prepared from the minerals. They are strong in nature. These acids are important for the industrial point of view, as they are used in manufacturing fertilizers, industrial chemicals, dyes, explosives, pigments, and many more industrial products. Some mineral acids commonly used are sulfuric acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, hydrochloric acid. Even it is present in our stomach and helps for the digestion process. What are the general properties of acids which you have learned in younger classes and which we have come across just now in few discussion points? The acids, they are sour in taste. Bases are bitter in taste. Right? Bases are bitter in taste. How we can come to know? Suppose sometimes when you are taking bath and by mistake somewhat amount of soap is going in our mouth, and at that time if you would have undergone this test, then you would have come across that yes, it is bitter in taste because soaps are basic in nature. Acids turns blue litmus paper red. Please remember this. A for acids turns B to red, and bases turns red to blue, that is B to B. So red turns to blue. And acids give burning sensation when we touch. Actually we should not touch, but I am giving this that it is the property, it is burning sensation, and bases are soapy in touch. It seems like we are having a soap in our hand. Now let us study further Arrhenius' concept about acids and bases. Svante Arrhenius in 1887 has given a concept about acids and bases. According to his view, what he told, that acid is a substance which contains hydrogen, and when that substance is reacted with water, then it will release free hydronium or hydrogen ions, that is H3O plus or H plus. Then that particular substance which contains hydrogen is termed as acid. HCl, see here, in HCl, H is hydrogen, H2SO4, H hydrogen, Ca3COOH, H hydrogen. When this substance were reacted with excess of water, then they give positive ion hydronium and respective negative ion, here chloride ion, here sulfate ion, here acetate ion. So as per Arrhenius, the substance containing hydrogen and when gives hydronium ion with water, then that particular substance are termed as acids. And the base are substance which contains hydroxide OH in it, and when they are dissolved in water, they give free hydroxide ions. Then that particular substance are base. Here you see NaOH is having OH, NH4OH is having OH. When they are dissolved in water, they give Na plus and OH minus. Here also NH4 plus and OH minus is released. So such substances are considered as base as per the Arrhenius.